Welcome back to this tutorial series on Introduction to MATLAB. In the last tutorial, I discussed about how to use MATLAB as a simple calculator, and we also saw how the MATLAB store its result into the default variable. In this tutorial, I am going to discuss about how to create our own variable and store the value in it. We will also see that how to do different operations on the variables that we are going to create in this tutorial. Let's get started. So to define a variable, we are going to move back to the command window and we will start writing our command over here. So right now I am going to issue a command that will create a variable, and to do that we have to name our variable. Let's suppose I want to name it a, and then I'm going to store a value in it. Let's suppose I want to store a value of 8 in it. So this is how we write a command to create a variable in the MATLAB. So I'm going to write a is the name of my variable, then I'm going to press this equal to sign, which is a assign operator, and it is going to assign the value of 8 in it. So 8 is my value, that is I'm going to store into the variable a. Till now it's not issued to the MATLAB. So to issue the command to the MATLAB, we have to press an enter key on the keyboard. So as soon as I press it, you will see the result is shown, a is equal to 8, and the same variable you can see in the workspace, which is the name of variable is a and the value that is stored in it is 8. Let's define another variable. Let's name it b, and I'm going to press equal to sign, and then I'm going to press the value, which is, let's suppose I want to store a value of 9 in it. So b is equals to 9 now. So I have created a variable a, and now I have created a variable b by assigning equal to 9 value in it. So you will see now we have two variables. For first one we created a, another one we created b, and the value that is stored in the b is 9. So this is how we create a variable in the MATLAB. Now we can do different operations on the variable that we have created earlier. So let's suppose I want to add these numbers which is stored in the variable a and b. So you can simply do these operations a, and then I'm going to press plus button to add, and then I'm going to press b. So this a is the variable, the same variable we created earlier, which has the value of 8, and the b is also the variable that we have created, and it has a value of 9 in it. So if I press an enter key, so you will see the value of 17 is given by the MATLAB, and you will notice again that the same variable, now the default variable of MATLAB, answer short form, is now appeared into the MATLAB, because we have not defined extra variable to store the addition of these two numbers. So that's why the MATLAB assigned this new result into the default variable. So you will see now we have three variables. Two variables we created, a and b, and the third one, which is answer, is given by the MATLAB. We can store these addition, subtractions, multiplications, and different operations into our own variable. So to do that, we have to create another variable. Let's suppose I want to create this variable c, then I'm going to press equal to sign, and now I'm going to do the operation as we did earlier. So I'm going to write a plus b. So a plus b is the same operation that we did earlier. Now instead of storing it into default MATLAB variable, I'm storing it in the user defined variable, which is c over here. So if I press enter now, you will see that the variable c is created and the value in it is 17. And if you will see in the workspace that the same variable that we created in the command window, all the variables are available over here. So c is created and the value that is stored in it is 17. Similarly, we can create any variable we want. So if I want to do a into b, so I told you in the last tutorial that for multiplication sign we have to use this star option, and I can multiply this a and b, and the value of this will be stored in this new variable that I am going to create. As soon as I enter, you will see that 8 into 9 72, and it is stored in this new variable d is equal to 72. You can do some other operations. Let's suppose I want to calculate sine of let's suppose I'm giving the value in the degree, so I'm going to use sine d. If you remember, last time we used for degree this sine d, and then I'm going to supply the variable in it. Now this d over here is a variable that we created earlier, so sine d of the variable that we created, what d variable we created, and the value that is stored in it is 72. So it's going to calculate sine 72 degree. So the answer, this is again default variable because we have not assigned any variable to it, so the result is going to be stored in the default variable, so it's 0.9511. So similarly you can do different operations on the variable. All the mathematical function can be operated on those variable. You just have to call those functions and supply the variable in it. So let's suppose I want to calculate log of some variable a. So if I use this log function, which is built-in function we saw in the last tutorial, and I'm going to supply a variable to it, and the variable contains some value, so it's going to calculate log 8. So log 8, by default this log is a natural log, and I'm calculating the log of 8. So 8 is basically the value that is stored in the variable a, so I'm supplying the variable and it's going to calculate the value of that variable by using this log function. So this is how we create a variable, our own variable, and store a value in it. We also saw how we can operate on those variables by using any mathematical function that is available to the MATLAB. Till now in this tutorial I have discussed how to store a single value in these variables. In the next tutorial I am going to discuss about how to store a multiple value in a single variable. I hope you like this video. Please like, share and subscribe. I will see you in the next tutorial. Thank you very much.